Welcome to part two of how to dial in a guitar amp, the Marshall JVM410. This is the combo version. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome to Rock Hard Riffs, the guitar channel for the self-taught. Today, this is part two of our three-part series of the JVM 410 amp. This is the combo version. We've already gone over in part one the clean and the crunch channel. Today, we're going over OD1 and 2 and the master section. Now, we asked folks if you've been watching this and if you are enjoying this and if you find it informative, we ask that you would please subscribe. We really need subscribers. We greatly appreciate it. That way we know what we're doing is worth something to folks out there, and that's what's important. So, okay, so today, let's go over the OD1 and 2 and the master section. Now, what we're going to, let's quickly read and see again what Marshall has to say. Let's go over the OD1, we'll start there. Okay, OD1 green mode. This is very similar to the hot rodded JCM 800 sound found in crunch red, allowing you to dial in two distinctly different yet similar crunch sounds if you so wish, one in each channel. Now again, let's ask ourselves one more time why. This is getting kind of redundant now, right? And in my opinion, a big reason, this is a big one, that's what kind of guitar are you playing through the amp? Now, you can really, these amps are super sensitive to the type of pickups you use, how hot they are, how quiet they are, etc., how you play. They're very sensitive to that. And also the tone of the pickups, extremely important. So you might want to have that JCM 800 rumble, but you need a little bit more kick or a little different tone or wherever it is you might need for, say, a single coil pickup versus your humbucking one. So again, it gives you that versatility to shape your sound just as you want it. Now, if you think in a recording situation, holy cow, you can be at this for hours on end. In a live situation, that's what I consider this amp for. That would be my use for it. And that is, man, you can cover so many different sounds. It's just, that's what I look for, what I listen for when I go out to see a live band, And I'm not anal about it. It's just awesome to have all those tones at your fingertips, right? Let's go on. OD1 orange mode. This adds another gain stage to the OD1 green circuit, resulting in a sound that's perfect for singing leads and hard rock heavy metal tones. Now that's what I primarily use, OD1 orange, for my hard rock stuff, Scorpions, that sort of thing. So I use Van Halen, right? So now OD1 red adds more gain to the OD1 orange for a high gain Marshall sound. Yeah, boy, let's rock and roll. Now this is all they have to say about the OD2 channel. They don't talk about the modes. This is just it. This channel is similar to the OD1 channel, but with even more gain and a slightly different tone network, with the middle control shifted down to being centered around 500 Hertz instead of the more typical Marshall value of 650 Hertz. What does this mean, guys? It means that OD2 has been scooped for you already. Okay, the result is three high gain modes that are ideal for both lead and modern rhythm metal tones, i.e. wink wink, scoop your mids. So that's what the point of that is. Now let's go on to one more thing and then we're going to listen to it. Okay, now presence and resonance. I'll tell you guys, this is the key to shaping the tone of this amp, in my opinion. This does not turn on and off. It's always on, so you want it set how, of course, how you want to use it. Now let's talk about it. These controls are power amplifier controls and only have effect when playing through a speaker, not in silent recording. They affect how the power amplifier reacts to the connected speakers and how much control the amplifier has over them. Increasing the resonance control emphasizes the natural speaker's resonance for an improved bass response. In the same way, increasing the presence control emphasizes the speaker's high frequencies, which we heard as an improved high frequency response, which adds presence to the sound. Presence and resonance constitute a powerful power amplifier equalizer, allowing responses from an upside-down V shape when they are fully off, which is felt as a mid-boost, to a V shape when they are turned clockwise, which is felt as a scooped sound. Again, the effectiveness of these controls is highly dependent on the kind of connected speakers. Care has to be taken to avoid over-excursion of the speaker cones in high resonance settings. So in other words, don't blow out the bottom end of the amp. It can overdo it. But I'll tell you, when you get too much high end, too much mid-range for your ear, you kick up the resonance. Now I'm going to show you what I've done, and I'm going to play with this in a second. I'm going to show you the difference. If you look, the presence and resonance are on the top right. I have the presence at 12 o'clock. I have the resonance at about 2 o'clock, okay? Because I like, again, a bit of a kick in the rear with the bass, but I don't want to overdo it. I'm not competing with the bass guitar, but I do want a kick in my bass. And that's how I do it, through the resonance, turning it up like that. Okay, we're plugged in and we're ready to go. Now what I have on now is the crunch channel on red. Okay, so that is like a JCM 800. Just to remind you from the last video. Okay, now let's go into OD1 green. Now they're calling this a hot rodded JCM 800. I'm on the bridge pickup, volume, tone, all the way up. Okay, let's try that old rock tone. We could probably still get away with that. All right, cool. So that's your green. Now let's try that the T-Rex song. Not bad. Good tone for that. Cool. Okay, let's now go into the orange. This is OD1 orange. This is the one I primarily use. I use this a lot. Okay, so let's do something familiar from like the Orange Crush one I did. How to dial in that amp. Fingers are not agreeing with me today. My arm's a little numb. You'll have to forgive me. Okay, let's hear a little more of that channel. Cool. Okay, so that's that. Now let's check out the red. Okay, hopefully this is familiar to you too. Get it? All right, let's move on to OD1 green. Okay, now again, we're back to that less overdriven tone, but still juicy, lovely, delicious. It's a little bright, isn't it? Let's try this. Sweet, okay. Now let's go into OD2 orange. Now we're back into metal territory. Here we go. Back to that metal. Awesome, right? Now let's go into, sorry, didn't mean to yell. Now let's go into the red. So that's red. Okay, now I want you to let's take a listen to the presence and resonance. Okay, here we are, we're in OD1 orange, and let's listen to the presence. Let's listen to the difference, okay? So there's just an A chord. with all the resonance down. Let's go up. Let's go back down. Oh yeah. Now let's get rid of all the presence. It's 12 o'clock. Let's go all the way. O'clock. That's a quarter. That's all the way gone. And right there's where I like it set. So again, that's at about 2 o'clock on the resonance and about 12 o'clock on the presence. Let's talk about the master section. Again, we have master volume 1 and 2. You can use this, these to reduce or increase certain channels. Or if you have different guitars, because single coil pickups tend to be quieter. They're not as high output. So you'd use these as well with that. And you may change your presence and resonance depending on what guitar you're using. Okay? So now let's go to the reverb section here. We have an individual digital, I think it's like a hall or room reverb for each channel. You can control that yourself. Over here, we have the MIDI controller, which is controlled by the foot switch as well. Here we have effects loops. Now we have two different effects loops. We have a serial and a parallel. A parallel is going to run alongside the original signal, and it has a knob on the back that you can mix the wet signal into your dry, or not into it, but increase the volume of it alongside your original signal. The series effects loop is just imagine your pedal board. You're plugged into one side and it comes out the other. It goes straight through, doesn't bypass it, doesn't go alongside it. It is in your signal chain. Whereas the parallel just runs parallel to it. Okay? So that's basically it. That's the master section there. This is awesome, guys. It's just a killer amp. And we're going to go over the foot switch. That'll be a quicker video and just kind of tidy up any questions you might have or anything from the first two videos. So we certainly do appreciate your viewing. We would love it if you'd subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. And we will see you next video.